Awesome!
Ubisoft.
Yes, this is Rocket Punch, the post-show for the Ubisoft E3 coverage. Seth is turning off the air conditioning real quick. Is it unplugged? Are you good?
Yes.
Everything's better. Awesome.
Cool.
This is Rocket Punch.
Let the video games commence.
This is the Rocket Punch E3 Ubisoft press conference post-show.
I'm Cameron.
Nope.
That's,
wait. Whoa.
That's Seth. And that's Will.
Whoa,
Actually, not really. I'm Cameron. That's Seth. That's Will.
That's
Hi.
Seth. I'm Cameron.
Whoa, you need to slow your roll, dude.
I'm Seth. Will and Cameron.
So,
You're all three of us now.
Let's talk. We just got through watching the Ubisoft press conference reveal. What did you guys think?
I think they revealed... I don't know. Ubisoft is so weird. They're so
Dude,
weird.
They started that off like maximum goober juice engage.
I like that they approach it very like lightheartedly, but it sometimes comes across as a little like it. This is what it feels like. It feels like a person in their mid-40s who has been working in marketing for 20 years sat down and tried to come up with a way to make a press event that 18-year-olds would be into. And that feels like what we watch. It's like this forced kind of childlike charm, and it's not. They don't pull it off. They never pull it off. They never have. They never will.
And it wasn't bad for me. I mean, it's I can understand some of the cheeky stuff. Can okay, it's cool. It's funny. Maybe not a little. You're laying it on a little thick there.
They lay it on that. Ubisoft is the definition of laying it on thick. That is what they do.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one.
Well,
as far as the games are concerned.
Yes, let's look at our predictions and see how we did. I think we actually did pretty well.
Sadly. Sadly, we did.
For Seth, let's go ahead and start. You predicted that there would be a For Honor gameplay trailer with a release date. That is 100% what exactly happened.
Yep.
We do have a release date of, I believe, February 14th, 2017.
Happy Valentine's Day. Murder everyone.
But speaking of the game again looked very cool.
Single player.
They have a single player campaign. That was very cool. I thought it was just going to be a multiplayer only experience, so that's cool to see. That was pretty awesome too.
Your marketing was showing there. I was afraid it was going to be a multiplayer only experience.
Well, they really only showed that multiplayer bit last year.
Yeah, they did.
That was kind of it. But to see it come back out, and it's not too far away.
I like how the story is everyone's fighting and we don't remember why.
Yep, we're just fighting.
That's the story.
That's it.
Well, they've been fighting for millennia, and they forgot that they're fighting over just like a little puddle of water.
Yep.
That happens. I mean, after a millennia, yeah.
I feel like there's something philosophical there somewhere, but who knows?
I'm sure there is. I'm very sure there is.
Nah, I think you guys aren't fighting enough.
Okay.
But For Honor looks great. Definitely excited. I'm sure we'll see more during the weekend later on throughout the year before it releases. Prediction number 2. Details will be revealed for the Assassin's Creed movie. You were right on this.
And now, specifically, I said there's going to be a trailer.
Yes.
There was also one of those.
A cool little, and it was like a pseudo kind of trailer, kind of behind the scenes stuff, kind of actors and people talking about the movie. I think it's very good that Assassin's Creed is taking a break. I'm curious how this movie is going to do. The story looks interesting. Assassin's Creed story has always been interesting, but I feel it's been kind of all over the place. So I've never really it's been hard to follow to some extent. So
Yeah.
But yes, that was exactly true.
Let me tell you, as soon as the image came up, I was like, no, please, I don't want to. Please don't make me right. Please don't make me right.
Oh, but
and then they're like, we're gonna bring the director out on, or whoever they had, and I was just like, oh god, it's an interview.
You're right.
It can't just be here's a trailer moving on, but no, we got to do a full-fledged interview. And that was a consistent theme throughout. Like they kept that couch. Everyone sits on the couch. Everyone chats on the couch. It was a 2-hour press event.
Yeah, that was
It did feel like it dragged on a little too long.
Overall, I think that was a little bit longer than it should have been, in my opinion. Well, they had a lot of in-depth. I will give them credit. A lot of their games had really in-depth gameplay demos and stuff. But I feel like they could have maybe tightened that up a little bit. But to each his own, I guess I would say.
It's E3, and we did see games on a screen.
This is very true. Very, very true. But the last prediction, a mobile game would be mentioned. You were not right about this one. There was no mobile game talked about.
Really,
as far as I can remember, there was no mention of
We
a mobile.
learned from Minions Paradise. Good work.
Yeah, but there was no type of anything mentioned about a mobile game during that time frame. So that's
Yay!
very good. Jumping to my predictions, a gameplay trailer of Ghost Recon Wildlands would be shown at least. I was right, definitely nailed the head on that one. And that was the first part of the show. They just went right in and said, here's Ghost Recon Wildlands. Looked very cool. It looked like kind of a different type of Division. Like the gameplay reminded me of Division a lot. To some extent. I mean, how did you guys feel?
I think the Division's like a I think of it like an MMO, right? Like you're walking around and there are dudes everywhere, but for the most part, like you just engage them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Ghost Recon is very much a tactical stealth game.
It's a squad shooter.
Yeah, it's like I think you're right as far as like they're learning to incorporate some of their like game mechanics and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Ghost Recon is much more tactical. Like that's going to be that Rainbow Six style more so than.
I did like the
shooter.
whole like going in to get somebody and then work and like having all your team members kind of teamwork together, kind of take them into the car, keep them alive. That was pretty cool. A lot of action in the trailer.
See, what I wonder is like if they had subdued him inside of that compound.
Would have been done.
How were they going to get?
They would have been done, but how would they get him out? You know, like those types of things.
Oh,
like
that's true.
I think it's really cool that the world's adaptive like that, and I think it worked in their favor that they did that. That they got him out of the base because then they just had to wreck his car. But that was neat. That was cool. I like that.
It was very, very cool. But I think they gave a release date as well for that. I believe it was in March of 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
For me, E3 is about getting the games, and then then I'll sort them all. Right, I'll sort all the cards once all the cards are on the table, and they come out eventually.
Fair enough. My second prediction was that Splinter Cell will return. They did not drop the ball on that one. I really thought they would have at least given a teaser or something for Splinter Cell. It's been a little bit since we've seen the last Splinter Cell. So, not too bad there. My third prediction, there was going to be a release date, or at least a window for South Park, A Fractured Butthole. And I was, boom, nailed the head on that one. We even got a nice like gameplay demo and walkthrough of that game. It's not the same as...
It's grid-based.
It's very much like a turn-based RPG. It's not so much a traditional RPG that was last time.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That should lend to some more new tactics and abilities in the game. How did you guys feel about that?
I'm okay with it.
I think that when they first started trying to make a South Park game like that, it was Trey and Matt were not like super into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could tell they were just kind of like whatever, and they gave it to who was it at the time? It was
Obsidian.
THQ.
THQ
THQ was the publisher, and then THQ went under, and the rights were sold off, and then they were even less interested. But when it actually finally came out, I think they received a check, and then they said, you know what?
We can make money on this.
We should be interested in this. And so now they're a little bit more on board with creating this. And yeah, I think the Fractured Butthole will be a great game.
Oh yeah,
It's going to be a big fractured butthole.
And I think that that it's cool that they're giving. This is another trend. We're no longer doing like stupid bonuses or avatar gear. You're just getting free old games. It's like we're just making sequels to shit. So here's the previous game. So
if you have a game before, have fun.
They're giving the South Park game away if you pre-order Fractured Butthole. So there you go.
All right, but I think those are all my. So I got 2 out of 3. We got 2 out of 3. Those are really good. Will, your predictions? Prince of Persia would return.
Not at all.
Not even close.
I was hoping. But...
Same with Splinter Cell. It didn't get anything there. More details on end of the year plans for the Division would be revealed. Was your second prediction? That did happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They talked about the next expansion, not Underground, but the Survival.
Right.
The trailer was very cool, very thematic, atmospheric. If it's something very similar, just like you and your friends, and you just have to survive like waves of enemies and stuff. It looked like it was set in Manhattan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Potentially there could be stuff like looking for food and rations, looking for cold, like warmth and stuff because it's so cold up there. Those are stuff that looks like you could run into. It was very, very cool. It looked very, very awesome. I was impressed with that. The division's doing well. They announced 10, I believe it was 10 people, or 10 million people.
10 million people.
Gamers in the division so far, so that is a very strong number for them.
Yeah, I mean when that came out, that was the Destiny dethroner. There was a lot of people that jumped from that to Destiny, so I feel like they'll probably play ping pong with their.
I think they're
bases.
still playing ping pong now, even now, with announcements of their content coming up to kind of see what's going to go happen there on that front. Ooh, and the last prediction from Will,
sequel.
Rayman sequel, we did not get that at all. So kind of okay with there. But what else? What other stuff do we remember? Like, what was our favorite parts? Games that we were memorable that we liked.
Dude,
cool.
For Honor, that looks like the shit.
For Honor looks very, very good. Very, very impressed with that.
Watch Dogs 2 looked really cool. You mentioned something about like the gameplay, like the human interaction in that game, like the responsiveness of the character, like he fell off of a high place and kind of scrambled to get back up.
Some of the details they've really focused in, and I'm a big person of details. If you don't know, the details where like he's getting the data and he's trying to run out and he jumps out of the window. But most games you jump out, you always land on your feet or you do some type of roll. He actually jumps and slips a little bit, and he kind of scrambles up a little bit to try and get back up there.
Yep.
Little touches like that were very cool. His weapon with the Marcus's weapon with the billiard ball and the paracord was very cool. Just like throwing it all around the place, but also like so much. It looked like there were so much more things that you could hack. Like every person you could hack in some way because they had cell phones.
Yeah.
The cars.
I think that was a big limitation in the first game.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I liked the first game, but there was so much more improvement. So much, like again, we always compare it to Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed 2. Like Assassin's Creed with that base. I'm hoping that Watch Dogs was that base, and Watch Dogs 2 will kind of push that up to
We'll see.
a bigger status. Yeah, most definitely.
Open worlds are crowded now. Open world game, that genre of open world games are crowded. So.
You gotta have something to separate it from the others.
We'll see.
Exactly. I think the hacking thing is the big thing for Watch Dogs, but it has to be meaningful.
Yeah.
They have to be able to do something with that there. What else? What other games came out that we saw? Nothing on the Assassin's Creed. Nothing on Far Cry Primal. Let's talk about the intro. The first part of this conference in Just Dance 17 announcement.
I think that summarized Ubisoft's approach to the industry perfectly.
How so?
It's like it's like meeting someone. Ubisoft is like meeting someone who is so uncool they're cool about it. like if you ever meet someone who's just like so uncool, but then like they're so confident in their uncoolness that you're like, wait a second, does that make them cool? Like, you can't tell if Ubisoft is genius or if they're just a complete and total, like, wreck. So, it's really weird watching them because they do that stuff. It's super scripted and it's super... I don't think it's very authentic, and that's the part that I don't really like about it. But then they're like, fuck y'all, we're Ubisoft. It's what we do.
We don't care.
I don't know.
Prince of Persia. You know how I didn't get anything about that, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can download it free if you have the Uplay right now from Ubisoft.
The Uplay.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't like the kids with the Uplay.
Yeah, they're giving a free game every month this year as part of their 30th anniversary, according to GameSpot.
Cool. Well, there's your Prince of Persia.
There you go.
But,
and definitely happy birthday to Ubisoft.
Happy
30th anniversary.
30 years.
30
what have you
years.
been doing for 30 years?
Making Raymond.
Actually, you know what? Probably.
That's the correct answer, yes.
Any other cool games, cool things that we saw?
For Honor was the coolest.
They ended the conference with a game called Steep, like this kind
Horrible ending.
Snow weather type game. I wish it would have ended on a better note. The game looks cool. The mountains look gorgeous. I I don't know how I'm gonna feel snowboarding down mountains and parasailing and doing all that stuff over time. The game looked beautiful, but my opinion, it was not a strong ending. Not like last year when they ended with Ghost Recon Wildlands. It was like, we're done.
Well, they for the past couple years, Ubisoft has done some crazy shit. They did Watch Dogs, then they did the Division. Yep. You know, like these games that come out of nowhere, and you're just like, what? They didn't really have that this year. They had, I think that seeing more of Ghost Recon Wildlands was cool, but yeah, they didn't have like that new game announcement that really caught us off guard. So.
That's very true.
But then again, I don't know. Maybe if you're into the snowboarding extreme sports thing, like that's like I could imagine that being like the coolest version of that. I just don't know how big that market is.
Yeah, very true. Eagle Flight was shown.
You know,
they did talk a fair bit about some of their VR endeavors. Eagle Flight was one. The only thing I can think about with their VR is that it looks cool. It takes a minute. I'm like, okay, that actually does look cool. But then you have to think, you have to find other friends who have VR headsets that are going to be willing to play with you on that, and that's a lot of money. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to find somebody who's willing to do that. You know.
Hey, what's up, guys? All right, we're gonna move. I got the bird. I'm the bird. It looked like, just go back and watch it. But to me, it was like, this looks ridiculous. Like this looks ridiculous. Like they're playing capture the flag, but it's with a dead rabbit.
How did the dead rabbit get on top of the Eiffel Tower?
Why is there? Yeah, that game makes no sense. But like watching that in VR, like I said earlier, I don't want to see much VR at E3, and that is the reason why. Is because like watching VR is boring and looks ridiculous. Like it's just 6 people sitting on a stage with fucking helmets on, and then like you're seeing this 2D rendered image of what they are perceiving inside. VR is not something you showcase. It's something you.
Yeah. VR is very much something that you need to try.
Yeah. And it's not like you try VR and then you sit and then you go look at this other game and you're like, oh, okay, I can see how that works. No, like if you want to see something in VR, you see it in VR. Like, and that's why I don't think that VR belongs on these stages at all. Period. No,
it's kind of boring. Actually.
It's cool when you say like, hey, Fallout 4 is coming to VR. Here's where you try it on, but don't.
My one fear is that I'm afraid that Sony's going to pull like a 10 to 15 minutes of VR crap on their stage.
I'll say if VR takes off in the next 3 years like they want, and I'm not talking about, it'll take off 10 years. Who cares 10 years from now? But it needs, within the next 3 years, it has to be a viable, profit-generating medium. Otherwise, it will. That's, you think about how long motion gaming lasted.
Yeah, well, we'll have to keep an eye on it and find out. So, Grow Home got a sequel.
Fucking Grow Home.
Grow Home was very cool. If you've not heard of Grow Home, it's like the little red robot. I know, Seth, you've played it. He kind of like climbs up the beanstalk or wherever to get the gems. That was pretty cool. The sequel for that is Grow Up, which is pretty cool. We got a lot of little tidbits of that, but nothing too serious there. One thing I can't believe we even forgot about this. Trials of the Blood Dragon was announced. And it is available now. So if you actually have Trials HD, you can go purchase. You can go download this. That is very 80s, very crazy.
It's Blood Dragon.
Very much so.
Like I'm pleased to note that Blood Dragon is now a sticker that can be put on any Ubisoft franchise, and not just because they did Far Cry.
Yes,
it was awesome.
I want a Blood Dragon Division.
Oh God! I feel like that would be some like G.I. Joe level silliness and zaniness going on.
I'm just saying, that would be so ridiculous. It'd be great.
Most definitely.
I'm trying to think about Ubisoft franchise. I got a Rayman
Blood Dragon.
Rayman Blood Dragon could possibly
Assassin's Creed Blood Dragon. Do you think?
See, the thing with Blood Dragons is like the game or what they're doing so far, it has to be kind of narrow in scope. Like Far Cry Blood Dragon was kind of like
Ghost Recon Blood Dragon. There you go. There.
Rainbow Six Blood Dragon.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think Ubisoft is always an interesting press conference to watch. They didn't have that huge shocker this year, but For Honor continues to look cool.
Yeah. For Honor, I was impressed with Watch Dogs 2. I'm excited to play that.
Yeah.
Next year. So that is it for the Ubisoft post show.
That's it. That's what we think.
We've got one more show. I believe the
more thing.
Sony press conference is the last thing tonight. That the conference starts at 8 p.m. Central Time, so you should see us right around 7:30 Central Time, jumping on doing the pre-show, and then of course we will do a post-show after that. There, but any other final thoughts on Ubisoft?
Nope.
They need to learn how to control their time.
Yeah, I felt like 2 hours was a little too long for the conference this year. All right, well that's it, guys. We will see you later. Definitely keep this bookmarked, follow back, and we will see you back for the Sony pre-show.